Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Mr. Blue podcast. I am your host, Blu-rayDave. It's been a little while since the last episode of the podcast, and of course, I'm in a rut. Like whenever I want to release the next episode of the podcast, but I'm trying to figure out some ideas, and I just thought of the perfect opportunity to make an episode, and here we go. You guys already read the title. I'm going to be talking about the Eastrail 177 trilogy. Some people prefer to call it the Unbreakable trilogy, which is a lot better. I get Eastrail has a lot of importance to this trilogy. So either way, we're going to talk about it today. Can I just say though, guys, these movies are criminally underrated. Like, these movies are so good. Like, independent movies, I'm appreciating independent movies now because I'm in my early 20s, right? Just like the cinematography and the acting, like whatever independent movies I'm watching, right? So how did I get into this franchise in the first place? A Split, I was somewhat aware of it, like when I was in high school. Like, it came out when I was in high school, right? I think I was finishing up sophomore year when Split came out, and then Glass. Again, it was another one of those movies that I didn't really pay attention to. Like the poster, right? Like the poster, with all the three main guys, it's so iconic. Growing up, I didn't watch a lot of especially with Bruce Willis. He was in a lot of the action movies, and just by looking at the Glass poster alone, I was just thinking, man, this movie looks so dumb. I didn't even know what it was. Jeez. But Blumhouse knocked it out of the park with Split and Glass. If you guys don't know, Unbreakable is technically a Disney film, Touchstone Films specifically, because sometimes I forget Touchstone is affiliated with Disney. Sure, Disney does not get involved in any way when it comes to Touchstone, because there's a reason why it's called Touchstone. There's a lot more edgier, hardcore stuff, but at least Disney distributes it, but they own Touchstone though. It's pretty weird though that Unbreakable is a Disney movie, right? I'm even surprised with Glass, they pull it off. They used some of the characters from the movie. In my honest opinion, guys, I've talked about this before briefly. I really do think that Disney should give up the Unbreakable movie to Universal, so they could do more with it. I wonder if it has to do with the distribution rights or whatever. They can't really do much with this franchise. It feels like it makes a lot more sense with this trilogy being over at Universal, because it just makes a lot of sense, right? You don't see the other two movies as Disney films, really. Even when you watch Unbreakable, you don't think of it as a Disney movie, right? Of course, I own 2 copies of the Unbreakable movie. I own the original 2008 Blu-ray release, and I own the 2021 4K release, because with the 4K release, I keep it in my Disney collection, and of course with the regular Blu-ray, I keep it with the trilogy here, right? And that's why the Blu-ray box set, which is a Walmart exclusive, it's so expensive now because of the rights, right? I understand when it comes to physical media, whatever box sets companies are trying to put out, there are some rights issues, but Disney, I highly doubt you're gonna watch this, but please just give the Unbreakable movie to Blumhouse, Universal, so they could do more. I show my sister these movies, right? And both her and I agree that Blumhouse should do more with these, because honestly, these movies aren't really based on anything. Comic books, loosely, sure, they're somewhat inspired by comics, so these are technically superhero comic book movies, right? like M Night Shyamalan, like he did such a good job with these movies. Like I kind of want to see The Sixth Sense, like that he made. Like that was the movie that came out a year before Unbreakable, right? And that was another movie Bruce Willis was in. I feel like with Bruce Willis and Sam Jackson, like they do like a lot of movies together, like back like in the 90s and 2000s, right? Like I guess you don't see that as much. Like I feel bad for Bruce Willis now because like he was diagnosed with like dementia, so like I wish him the best. I hope that he recovers. Honestly, guys, honestly, because like I've watched Die Hard recently, all 5 of the movies, and like they're like so freaking good. Like I think that's when I knew like he blew up from Die Hard, because anytime somebody mentions a Bruce Willis movie, they always go to Die Hard, right? Like, man. Excuse me, I'm drinking some lemonade. Yeah, I really do think like with Blumhouse making video games based off of their properties, right? I feel like the Eastrail trilogy or franchise really should be a good start. And I really do think that they should make actual comics off of these guys, like between the movies, right? Like we need canon comics, right? Like I want more Overseer. Like Overseer is like my favorite character in this franchise, right? Like Bruce Willis is like the heart and the soul of it. I do want to say this before I continue on with the other actors. Again, I highly doubt this, but like if Disney somehow gains the rights for Split and Glass, they could. Oh man, I could kind of see this. I don't know if you guys can see this working too, but like just bear with me. I feel like they could retcon these movies into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because I feel like they could work like that at some point. But like then again, M. Night, he wanted these movies to be like obviously like real, but like how would like superheroes work in the real world like that? Like again, in a realistic standpoint, right? Like that's kind of like contradicting, because like the MCU, like they do have some quote unquote superheroes that don't really have powers, but they operate in the public eye or whatever. Like it'd be pretty cool like if these 3 guys like worked with the Avengers, like man. But then again, like Sam Jackson like playing Nick Fury and him playing Mr. Glass, like I feel, oh my gosh. Speaking of which, like again with the actors, I just want to point that out, guys. Yeah, Bruce Willis, like he did such a good job in 3 of these movies technically, because there's a quote unquote post credit scene at the end of Split to confirm like this movie is part of this world. Like I was on the same boat with everybody. Like The Split was the only movie I cared about, and then when Movies Anywhere recommended I get Unbreakable and Glass, like oh, so that's where it's part. Because I felt like with Split, like it's obviously it's standalone, like it's an origin story, right? Like Unbreakable is standalone, of course, and again, Glass is one of those movies in media, like it's like kind of one of those the crossovers of what do you call it? Like kind of like the Avengers, right? Like the crossover to end all crossovers, right? Like man, this is like again, these movies are genuinely good, right? I don't know. I guess in Glass, I just don't like it that they gave Bruce Willis less screen time, because this franchise started with him. And Sam Jackson too, like they give him more screen time too. But like I feel like with Bruce, like I think he was robbed, right? Like no doubt, like M. Night Shyamalan, like again he made like great films here, but like what was like the creative process behind that? Like I haven't heard anything like in interviews or whatever. Like but if you guys can fill me in, like that'd be great. Like, man, I want the Overseer poncho. Like, you can get it off of eBay for $170. Oh man, that'd be such a cool superhero. But of course, me and my sister were joking, like, okay, how to become a superhero? Just grab a rain jacket, boom, you're a superhero, right? Um, I don't think the name Overseer became official until Glass, right? Like, um, it's kind of like the Green Arrow situation from the CW show. Like, what if people called him like the Hood, like off screen, right? Um, I don't know. I've watched Unbreakable like I want to say 3 times already. I watched each of these 3 times. Um, I don't know if Unbreakable is suggesting that David Dunn has DID because he doesn't remember much of his past, right? Like the car crash, for example, like that keeps getting brought up in the movie until like he has like I don't know if a breaking point is properly used here, but like when he remembered that, that's when like he excelled, like he became the overseer. Like, man, his powers are so cool. Like, yeah, he was just so sad, most of the movie. Like again, he's that actor who plays like that strong, quiet slash silent type. Like he plays it so good. Like man, like Bruce, like his acting is so good. That's what makes me appreciate him more now. So again, let me know in the comments, guys, what other Bruce Willis movies you guys want me to see. Right? Um, in Glass, they finally show like a flashback of him as a kid, almost like drowning. Right? Um, what else? Oh yeah, I'm happy to know. Like, I didn't check any deleted scenes from Unbreakable, but in Glass they used an actual deleted scene from Unbreakable. Like, oh my gosh! Like, did they like film a scene in Glass? Like, no, like the like the kid. I apologize if I don't remember his name or say his name, but like the kid who was in Unbreakable and Glass, like Bruce Willis's like on screen son, like I had to make sure it was him. Like, well, the screen is so dark, but like that's a real deleted scene, so I need to check that out. Like, that's so cool. It's very rare for like movies, mostly like they use like deleted scenes again if it's relevant to like the plot or whatever. Like, man, it's oh my gosh. Um, yeah, I'm just happy I got into these movies. Split seems to be like the only movie in the trilogy that's a horror film. Um, Seriously, I loved it. Honestly, guys, I was hoping like, I don't know if you guys are on the same boat with me here, but just bear with me. I was hoping with one of Kevin Wendell Crumb's 24 personalities, like they play a joke, like he has like some sort of like Professor X personality. I felt like they kind of did that in Glass, like when he was meeting up with Mr. Glass for the first time. Like, what's your superpower? Your mind? Like, ha. Let me know in the comments if you guys think so too. Gosh, I'm so thirsty. Um, yeah, Split. Like, it's such a genuinely good movie. Like, James McAvoy, like he knocked it out of the park. Like, man, like I want to be friends with somebody who has DID. Like, I want to like see what they go through, right? Like, and there's even a controversial take, which I still don't believe in real life. Like, I'm people are trying to quote unquote convince me that this is part of the supernatural. Like again, this was a topic of debate. Like, is DID part of the supernatural? And no, it's not, because I don't believe that there's ghosts possessing a person to give them like multiple personalities. Like, because remember, like when you have DID, like your DNA changes, right? Like there's a character, a personality, really, in this movie who has like diabetes, and like sometimes I forget, like he has like a couple of like women personalities. Like Miss Patricia, she's like the main one. Like I feel like the big three when it comes to Kevin Wendell Crumb, because like he's the host, right? Like the big three is Dennis, Patricia, and Hedwig, my boy. We need more Hedwig. Seriously, like, both my sister and I, we can't, like, stop, like, saying, etc. Like, oh my gosh. My name's Hedwig. I have red socks. I have blue socks, too. Comment Hedwig, guys. Oh my gosh, like, it's so funny seeing James McAvoy playing like a 9-year-old. Like, geez, like, Hedwig is like the heart of these people. Like, I think it split, like, I think it was Barry, like, he was kind of like the leader, like, controlling the light and protecting Kevin and all that, but some would assume, like, the Beast, because, like, oh, he's the big one, like, the big quote-unquote bad, right? Like, he's the main guy, right? No, he's kind of, I don't know, like, the catalyst, but he agrees with everybody, like, in the Horde. That's a pretty cool name, by the way, the Horde. Like, he wants to protect Kevin at all costs, right? Like, who knows? Like, one of the big three could be, like, the leader. Like, it could be Dennis, it could be Patricia, again, it could be Hedwig. My vote's on Hedwig. Like, let's have a 9-year-old be the leader of the Horde, right? Like, man. This is my second movie I've seen Haley Lou Richardson in. The last project I've heard of her about, and I'm not gonna watch it because it's so stupid, obviously, right? Like, she came out with the film a couple years back, and it has to do with like everything with pro-choice. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Yeah, I don't support that crap. So if there's anything else she's been in, let me know, and like, I don't know, maybe I could probably check it out. But like, yeah, I'm just not that big on like her, like, as an actress and as a person, right? Like, she had a decent role in Split. I honestly thought she was gonna be the main girl, but like, gosh, what's her name? I don't like this. Okay, Anna Taylor-Joy, like, oh my gosh. But she did a pretty good job in both Split and Glass. The first movie I actually saw her in, like, can you believe it? It was The New Mutants. Like, she could have had potential in that. Like, maybe Disney will plan to, like, bring her back, like, for, like, Doomsday and Secret Wars. Maybe they can improve on her character, right? And because her character in, like, X-Men comics in general, you guys should know that she's the sister to Colossus, right? So whoever she'll pair up with, whatever Colossus that showed up on film, like, hopefully they'll unite those two. That's what's important to me when it comes to X-Men, right? I did not like the Doctor in Split. I thought she was so annoying. Like, I wasn't quick to judge. I was just like, I mean, every time, like, one of the members of the Horde keeps saying, like, the 24th person, or, like, the Beast, she kept denying, like, that's physically impossible. Like, sure, especially on an independent standpoint, like, you can't do much, but, like, how James portrayed the Beast, like, it's so cool. Like, again, you don't need to add all these special effects, even though, like, when he's transforming, right, like, the veins come out, like, again, that's like proper, like, good CG, right? Like, man, even the Beast is pretty creepy. Like, I guess in a cool way, right? Like, the Beast is cool, right? I don't know why he has scars. Like, I know Anna Taylor-Joy's, like, character shot the Beast, like, twice. You think he would have, like, healed like that, right? Like, healing factor, right? Like, no, I guess they just, again, with these personalities, like, whoever pops up, they're gonna show, like, their physical, like, scars, whatever. Like, when it came to, like, Kevin Wendell Crumb, right? His hands are, like, seriously scarred or burned. Like, man, I feel bad. I feel bad for the guy. Of course, we have to talk about Elijah, aka first name Mista, last name Glass. Like, again, I feel like with Sam Jackson's presence in these two movies, like, he's pretty much the Nick Fury in these movies. Like, he had a plan. Like, he's the master manipulator. Even he would, like, trick Nick Fury into, like, anything. Like, he's one step ahead, right? Like, oh man. But the sad fact is, like, in the beginning of Unbreakable, like, he was born with broken bones, and I don't think that's common in childbirth, right? Like, I've been aware of it for like a long time. But it's just like I just don't like hear it a lot, right? So like again, these movies show like a good display, like how a person like lives with it and like suffers with it. Like, man, like I've never made fun of those people who have broken bones and like they can't like process like I guess protein, right? Protein is one of them, or like whatever, like because again they have like weak bones, so like and to anybody who's watching this video who has weak bones, I support you all the way, okay? Anybody with DID, like I support you, okay? Like, man, like in recent years I've watched a lot of stuff with people who have DID, like, man, if people are saying it's a controversial like a disorder, like you're wrong, like geez. Like again, this comes back to the debate of like the supernatural. Like, would you tell a person that they're a bad person because like, oh, you have DID, like you're a bad person, you're sinning? Like, okay, okay. I just hope somewhere out there there's a Christian family, right? And they have at least one kid who has DID and they have to live the rest of their lives protecting their kid. Like, see, it's not a sin. Like, again, how is DID the supernatural, okay? Like, I don't understand that crap. Where do you get your logic, right? Like, how was that even formed? Like, whoever said that originally in the first place, they need to shut up. They don't know the science behind it, so yeah. But Mr. Glass, like, man, he is such a good villain. Like you want to hate him because at the end of the first one, he reveals like he committed 3 genocides, but at the same time, like you feel bad for him because of his broken bones, right? Like, and he had to live on a wheelchair most of his life now, and he's had what 90 plus breaks in his life. Again, like he's the master manipulator, but like he set things in motion. Like he wanted the world to see like they're the first 3, like they're the first 3 superheroes, right, in the real world. And I feel like we need like some sort of like maybe like another movie or like a TV series if Blumhouse wants to work on this, like the next generation. Like say like somebody got really inspired by the Overseer. They don't have powers, but they could like live his life, right? Like they could wear like a poncho or something with the hood on. They just try to fight crime, right? Like yeah, I could see that happening. Oh my gosh. I got the movies here with me. Like, there's this stupid doctor, like, who's in Glass, and she is just so annoying. Like, if you guys seen the movie, you guys should know who I'm talking about. Like, she was hired by this cult essentially, who, like, if you're in this cult, like in this movie universe, like you have like a 3 shamrock like tattoo, like she's part of that group where like in comics, like there's like a group that would take down both good or bad super people, like because like she fears like we can't have gods amongst us. Like, no, like these guys aren't gods. There's people born with like super human abilities. Like, man, every time she talked, you know, she was so annoying, right? But of course, I always look past that because I always look forward to seeing Bruce, James, and Sam, because, you know, like they're the highlights of this trilogy, right? Yeah, Glass was more of like a superhero flick, like doing justice to Unbreakable, because again, Unbreakable, it was trying to get there, right? But like this was the year 2000 when Unbreakable came out. if you want to know, Glass came out in 2019. So I don't know if it's safe to say like, oh, I quote unquote grew up with these movies. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Um Again, I really do feel like Blumhouse needs to do more with these movies. And let me tell you for a fact, guys, I know one day, that Disney will give up the rights of Unbreakable to Universal, right? And then potentially Universal will re-release the box set, right? But don't just make it a Walmart exclusive anymore. Like, make sure have easy access for the public, right? So they could get their hands on. Like, I would love to get the trilogy box set for sure. Just like not at this time, like, but one day I'll own it, and hopefully more people will acknowledge this franchise. Because, gosh, like, Split is my favorite out of this trilogy, and then there's Unbreakable, and then there's Glass, right? Like again, James McAvoy, like of course he's a completely different person, right? Playing 24 different personalities, right? Like um yeah, he's just so great. Um I didn't like with the ending of Glass, like all of them died, right? All of them died. Um I honestly thought like David Dunn and the Beast were actually going to team up, like when they were kind of like cornering Elijah, right? Like, um, and I love Elijah's philosophy on like comics, like how they like they're like descriptions or records of life, because like the Egyptians back in the day, like they did stuff like that on the walls. Like we all know this, like yeah, that's a pretty good description, good metaphor, right? Like that's why I think like comics are so important, you know? Like seriously, I could definitely see a comic book like based on these three movies here. I feel like they can make like they could put all three movies into one comic and it'll make a lot of sense, right? Like I know in Unbreakable, M Night he wanted to like introduce the Horde, but I guess he didn't have enough time or the budget to do that. So like I'm happy that he came out with Split, because with his vision, like he did such a great job. Again, I love the fact, because this is an original concept. Like again, that's very rare nowadays in Hollywood. Like even if like you're working independent or like in Hollywood, like it's very rare for like original ideas to come about, because everything apparently needs to be based off of something. But like again, because of this franchise is loosely based off of but inspired by comics, like I'm like I guess M Night didn't know like what other plans he had after Unbreakable. Like, I wonder if it took him a long time just to like get like his ideas out with with Split, right? Because yeah, like 17 years later, like geez, because you have an original idea, you have to like keep it going. Like you have to come up with these ideas, right? Like, um, again, like his work is like so good. Like I can't. Oh my gosh. Um, Yeah, again, I could definitely see like comics and like video games, for example, being like in between the movies. Like, and again, if we could get some sort of like TV show, like we could get like maybe a TV show based around these three guys, but like in different times between the movies, right? Like, um, what was David doing in the last 19 years? What was the Horde doing in the last 2 years after the Beast was introduced to the world, right? Like, and what are like the post consequences of like Glass? Like, these three were properly introduced to the real world. Like, again, Elijah wanted the world to know like the superheroes existed, right? Like, I like to how like there's this building, right, that opened like in the movie, right? And he tells the Beast like, "Oh, we're gonna go there. Like, you're gonna fight Overseer." But again, that the point, like his master plan, his master manipulation is that like again like there's 100 security cameras in the asylum that they're in, and again like back them up into like a secret file, and then all news stations got like all the security footage from there, and again exposed the superhero world. And I loved how like the lady, the doctor, like she was freaking out when that happened. Like, serves you right, lady. Like, trying to shut these guys out. Like, come on. And you guys gotta appreciate the overseer theme. Like, it is such a bop. It is such a banger, guys. I swear it's that good. um One of these days, I don't know, I'll do like a proper like marathon of like these three movies. I almost did with my sister. Like, I showed her both Unbreakable and Split on like same day, and then we get to watch Glass the next day. Like, um, I'm happy that she likes them because again, like she was aware of Split at the time, and like she wanted to see it too. But like I wanted to show her Unbreakable first because that makes sense, right? So again, I'm happy that she watched them. Um, I don't know, what do you guys think? Um, they could have like done with this franchise again. Do you think they should have expanded? You know, like I think they should have picked a different actress to play like the Doctor in Glass because again, she was just so annoying. Like, at least pick out somebody who's pretty, right? Like, we need a pretty doctor, right? Who could still show some sass, right? Like, we need that. um, yeah, Glass was pretty much like a homecoming for both Bruce and Sam because it had been like 19 years since, Unbreakable, right? Like, again, such good stuff. And I won't shut up about that. Etc. Alright, guys, this was pretty much what I want to talk about today, the Eastrail 177 trilogy. Um, like I said, these are genuinely good films. I want people to acknowledge them, and Blumhouse, if you're watching, I demand that you expand this franchise, alright? Like, it can't just die. Like, Glass came out 5 years ago, and like, of course I don't want people to forget about that movie or, like, these two other movies. Like, again, like, if you could do something, like, if you could try to convince Disney to, like, give you guys the movie Unbreakable, and then, like, you could do more with those characters, like, yeah. All right, guys. This is gonna wrap up the podcast. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Please on the post notification bell and share my content if you haven't already. And again, let me know in the comments, guys. What do you think of these movies? What do you think is better? And again, what do you think maybe Blumhouse could have done better? Right? Again, I would love to know. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks goodbye. May the Lord be with you guys. Always love you guys. Peace out, guys, and etc. All right, good night, guys.